Now that we've covered the vocabulary terms, we're going to learn how to sketch a higher order polynomial. The first thing that you have to do is you must factor it. We've learned how to factor earlier on. So the example I have is in factored form is px equals x plus 2 times x minus 3 squared times x plus 4 cubed. The next thing you're going to want to do once you have it in factored form is find what the x-intercepts are. To find the x-intercepts, you're going to set all the x's to 0 and then solve. So we have -2, +3, and -4 as our x-intercepts. Once you have the x-intercepts, you can plot the points along your x-axis on your graph, which I've done here in blue. You have a point at -4, -2, and +3. Once that's done, you can figure out what the end behavior is, which we went over earlier. Once you figure out what the end behavior is, for, in this case, it's an even positive, you can draw in the end behavior to start your graph. In this case, it's even positive, and they're both up. So both ends will be pointing up. So once you have those drawn in, you can now figure out what happens at each point along the x-axis. To figure out what happens, I have an example of everything that can happen. At -2 on the x-axis, which is this point, you have to look at the degree of that part of the equation. So that is an odd degree, it's 1. So it's going to cross. All odd degrees cross over the x-axis. So we have it crossing over the x-axis. For +3 on the x-axis, which is here, we have an even degree, because x minus 3 is squared, which is an even degree. All even degrees bounce off the x-axis. So if you look on the graph here, we have at the 3 on the x-axis, it bounces off and goes back up. It does not cross the x-axis. For -4 on the x-axis, we have a cube, because x plus 4 is cubed in the equation. A cube means it's going to wiggle across the x-axis. So as you see, it comes down, goes parallel to the x-axis, leaves the point parallel, and then continues down. So when you're plotting this, what you're going to do is you're going to look at each individual point, figure out what happens at each individual point, and plot accordingly. So once you figure out the end behavior, you can put that in and then figure out at each point to solve the equation.